Hey everyone, welcome back to Music for Miles. Today we're diving into the top 4 stringless smart guitars on the market. I'm going to be putting each one of these head to head, going over the features, benefits, and what makes each one of these models unique. The goal of this video is not to pick a winner, but to showcase the unique characteristics of each model so you can find which one of these smart stringless guitars is the perfect fit for you. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Music for Miles. What we do here is all things guitar and music. Today's a little bit unique. We're checking out some stringless smart guitars. It is one of the most exciting and ever-growing categories in guitar tech. If you're not familiar with smart guitars, they take the traditional ergonomics of playing a standard guitar, but they modernize it with new features such as app connectivity, individual voicings, different playing modes, built-in speakers. Some of these have MIDI capabilities, and they are ultra-compact designs that have either folding bodies or removable necks, which make them great for travel, for fun, or to bring them to a friend's house and just jam. I spent a lot of hands-on time with all of the models we're going to be going over today. We're going to focus on price, features, app connectivity, sound and build quality, and at the end of the video, I hope you guys make a decision on which one of these guitars earned your money. Before I go through each individual model, let's talk about what every one of these guitars have in common. The first 3 smart guitars we're going to go over have very similar design. The Cyber-G, the Genie, and the LiberLive C1 all have the same type of neck. They're laid out differently, they feel different, but they function pretty much the same. You have a guitar neck here that feels like a traditional guitar neck, but you have 7 customizable buttons that go up the neck, so view that as like 7 frets on a guitar. Each one of these also feature a basic and advanced mode. So in advanced mode, you get 3 notes per fret. This allows you to do more complex chord progressions, customize the neck to your needs. Now they all have drum loops. Every single guitar up here is going to have a backing drum loop. Some of these are going to feature intelligent bass lines that kind of go through with the drums, some don't. And finally, they all feature built-in speakers. They're different types of speakers, different drivers, different amps, but they all have built-in speakers, meaning you can play this unplugged in your home, with friends, jam along to people. And then each one of these you can also plug in to like a PA system if you wanted to gig with it. Now that we shared how they work, what's in common, let's go through each model individually, starting off with the Enya Cyber-G. So here we have the Enya Cyber-G in purple. So let's talk about price. The price does vary, and I encourage you guys to check Enya's website, especially if you're watching this before Black Friday, because they do have a lot of sales going on. But the list price for this is $499 with the keyboard module, or you could take $100 off and get the paddle chord module. So what comes in the box for that price? Well, you get the Cyber-G with the module that you pick on their web store. You get a semi-rigid case, comes with stickers. These are like quick reference chord stickers. It also comes with a USB cable and a wall wart. Now some optional accessories, that's what you're gonna get in the box, but this does have some really cool optional accessories. One I have right here, which is their stand. It's custom made for this model, so it basically clicks into place. And it comes with a magnetic adapter, so you can easily pull this thing on and off. So if I were in a hurry and I wanted to grab the smart guitar off of the stand, it just pops off like this, and it's not gonna rip the cable out, which is pretty nice. Okay, so let's talk about the features of the Cyber-G. What really sets this model apart from the rest on the list is that it's modular. It's one of the only smart guitars that I've seen so far that you can change what you're doing with the rhythm. So this is the keyboard model here, but if I wanted to try out the paddle and the chord version, all you have to do is pop the keyboard out, pull it towards you, it pops right out. There is a USB-C input on this keyboard, which means you can use it as a MIDI controller with your DAW. Nice little benefit there. But let's say I wanted to use the paddle chord pad version of this. Really, really simple. If you look close, you can see that's where the adapter is. You just slide it into place, watch the lights. There it goes. It is now ready to be used. So the Cyber-G does include a touch-sensitive surface where your fretting hand goes to actually fret the notes. It has an onboard rhythm and looper with some great features like intelligent bass. It does have app connectivity with the Enya Music app, but you can play along to songs, you can change your patches, you can go from creative to individual, note mode on here or advanced mode. You can basically assign notes to the fretboard. So let's talk about the built-in speaker on the Cyber-G. According to the spec sheet, it uses a built-in speaker system with a 10-watt tweeter and a 20-watt woofer. With a 34 milliamp battery, rated for around 5 to 6 hours of playtime, depending on what volume you have it at. This speaker sounds great. I would say this is the second best sounding speaker out of all the guitars up here. It can get very loud. There's also Bluetooth connectivity and all kinds of other things you can utilize this speaker for. But it does have great clarity, and there is a sub port down here to let some of that bass escape the body and not make it sound muddy. Speaking of connectivity, down here we do have an instrument cable out. If we look at the top of the guitar here, we do have our USB-C. That's just the magnetic adapter I have on there for the charger. We do have a headphone in, and the USB-C can actually double for recording. You can plug this into your DAW via USB-C and record all of the sounds that you're playing on here. Let's talk about build quality and sound quality. Now the Cyber-G leans more into the electronic instruments than like the pure acoustic realism. That's what I like because this is the one model that does have a keyboard on it. There's 20 built-in instruments and several hundred tones you can use throughout the app. Now the sound is clean and expressive, particularly with the keyboard module engaged. So what makes this one unique and why would you potentially purchase this over the competition? I think this is a home run for people who play guitar and keyboards. And there's a unique aspect of this instrument being modular. These are the two they offer now, but there's no telling how many other modules they're going to come out with in the future. So if that's something you're looking for in a stringless smart guitar, this would be a home run for you. Next up is the Genie, and out of all of these stringless smart guitars, this one is hands down the easiest to use and the easiest to start making music on. Let's talk about price. Now the Genie is selling at around $399. Now it comes bundled with a custom travel case, which I have right here. On the inside, it is very soft, very supple, but you do have compartments for your guitar strap. This one comes with a white one, very nice. You can put your accessories in here. This guitar does have a detachable neck, so the neck would go into a sleeve here, and then the body goes into this Velcro area, which I have the instructions. Also comes with some like shortcut chord stickers if you want to put stickers on the neck to reference the notes easily. Let's talk about the features of the Genie. The Genie celebrates accessibility. A stringless design where you tap on the 3 control buttons down here and glide across a silicone fretboard. This is definitely the softest fretboard out of all 4 models, but the rhythm on this one is going to be touching buttons. Instead of using a paddle or a keyboard, you simply touch top 2 buttons here or 3 on the bottom. And the way that it lines up with your hand is you can do your 3 fingers on the bottom for rhythm and switch between 2 buttons on the top with your thumb. And you get the same features as the other guitars, such as a drum loop, a stop-start, you can adjust your tempo. The one feature that this guitar and the LiberLive have over the Cyber-G is they do have an individual note chord pad here, where you can hit individual notes or do some simulated strumming. This one's purely touch. It's a sensitive area here that registers your finger as you drag across the plastic. Talk about the speaker. It does feature a dual driver full range speaker system. Of the 4 smart guitars in this video, this is the quietest of the 4. The volume does not quite get as loud as the competition, and it is probably the lowest quality speaker of the 4 here. But I do think this model makes up for the low quality speaker with some more ins and out options. You do have a 1/4-inch instrument out, so if you want to go into a PA system or record, you can do that. Then on the top, you do have a USB-C in or out and a headphone jack. And of course, here is your volume knob, and if you press this, it goes between each one of the patches. The design of this one's very similar to the Cyber-G. Neck comes off, it folds down in half, and you can put it in the case. Let's talk about app connectivity. This model uses the Lava Plus app. If you have any Lava products, they all use the same app, which is great, so you can use one app for pretty much all of your smart instruments. The app is going to give you customization for the lights. It's going to give you chord charts, song library of 10,000 licensed songs. That's a lot of songs. Lots of presets, styles, but some of these advanced features do require a subscription. So the Lava Plus app is not 100% free. My favorite patches on this instrument are definitely the synth patches. Pretty cool. So what makes this unique and why should you pick the Lava Genie? If you've never touched a guitar before or you want something that's immediately fun and feels like a gaming controller, the Genie is arguably the easiest way in. As with all the other guitars on this video, make sure you check for pricing frequently. Lava is also having some Black Friday sales, so the list price I mentioned earlier in the video might not be accurate if it is on sale. Strumming. And just bass. Now let's talk about the LiberLive C1. About a month ago, I did a full in-depth review of the C1 that was really positive because there's some very cool unique features to this instrument. Now the regular list price for this instrument is going to be $449 on LiberLive's website. It includes a gig bag, a strap, cord stickers, and a charging cable. They did tell me November 7th through the 19th is their early Black Friday sale. The list price is going to change from $449 to $379, but if you use the code MUSICMILES20, you save an additional $90. Then their actual Black Friday sale, they're going to bump that list price down to $359. If you use the code I just gave you, it's going to bring the total price of the guitar down to $339. I believe that's the lowest price they've ever had on the C1 since launch. Let's talk about the gig bag right now. Here it is, it's semi-rigid. And this is actually the smallest case of all 4 of these instruments. Actually, one of them doesn't even come with a case. Compared to the Cyber-G's case here, the LiberLive is a little bit thinner and a little bit smaller. Compared to the Lava Genie, it is way smaller. Now there are some optional accessories, which I have right here. This is the optional folding guitar stand from LiberLive. It's modular and breaks down into a very small size. Let me show you real quick. But this can fit in your gig bag. You can put it in your backpack, no problem. It also works with real guitars, and it only takes a few seconds to set up. So just like that, I'm now ready to use the stand. And LiberLive sent me this little gift box, which is, I believe it's their accessory pack. So it does come with some additional accessories. So their accessory pack does come with this nice, it looks like it's weatherproof tote bag. Here says LiberLive on it. Then on the inside, you do get some zippered pockets for accessories. This can also fit the guitar case in there and the guitar stand. It comes with a custom guitar strap. So the LiberLive I have is in green. It did come with a black guitar strap, but on their website, you can get an optional color matched guitar strap. And this is a quick release guitar strap here, so you can just pop this off when you're not playing, and then reconnect it. Very high quality guitar strap. And it comes with some additional chord stickers, which you can put on the guitar for quick reference to notes if you're playing songs live, stuff like that. Now we talked about accessories, price, case, stuff like that. Let's go into the features. What sets this model apart, it's the world's first stringless smart guitar, and it has its patented one-piece foldable neck. Every one of the smart guitars I featured on this video has a detachable neck. This is the only model that has a foldable neck. So it folds down just like that, and this thing is extremely compact. I mean, it's not even as wide as my chest. Then to use it, all you have to do, pull the neck up, clicks into place, pull the wing out, and you're ready to go. Now to play the notes, it's very similar to the other 2 models we went over. There's 7 buttons on here, or 7 frets. In basic mode, it's 1 note per fret. In advanced mode, you could put 3 notes per fret. There is a drum looper on here. You do have an individual notepad here, so this one's actually a little easier to use than the Lava Genie. I do a full in-depth review of this model. You can check the link below. This is very handy and it's cool because you can simulate finger picking. Now for your rhythm, this features a paddle design. There is tension on the paddle, so when you press it, it takes a little while to kind of come back. That's really helpful if you're doing strumming rhythms. Now there are some additional controls, like you do have your volume here. This is definitely the highest quality volume button out of the 4 on this video. Then you have your transpose up here, so if you wanted to, I don't know, put a capo on here or play like you're in capo 2, you can do that, or you can raise or lower the key. And let's talk about app connectivity. So the companion LiberLive app is completely free. There's no subscription you have to worry about. You get 100 plus free rhythm sounds and patterns, backing tracks, looping tools, firmware upgrade is built into the app, and it has a solid UI experience. My favorite thing is to play some notes and look at the app while I'm playing, and it tells you what notes you're playing and updates live. And they also have interactive chord sheets as you're playing along to songs that makes it feel a lot like Guitar Hero, like you're playing a video game, but at the same time, you're learning songs. Let's talk about sound quality. This is one of the strongest in the group when it comes to acoustic realism. This has the best, out of all 4 of these models here, it has the best acoustic simulation. It sounds the closest thing to an acoustic guitar that you can pretty much get. And it's also very loud, enough for casual performances without relying on a PA. But if you do want to use a PA, that is the one downside, I believe, with this model, is there is no instrument out. There is, however, a line out up top. So if you do get an adapter, you just put the adapter here, wrap it around the back if you have a guitar strap, and you can go straight into a PA. So what makes the LiberLive C1 unique? As I mentioned, it has the best acoustic simulation. I love the paddles on this. It makes it feel like you really are strumming an acoustic guitar. It removes the frustration of fretting chords and gives you a whole new way to write. All right, we've reached the last instrument on the list. This is the AeroBand Guitar. This is a smart guitar. As I mentioned, it does have strings on it. So I call it stringless because there's no strings on the fretboard up here. You do have a set of 6 strings here at the bottom for your rhythm that you can pluck like a real guitar. Before we dive into the features, let's first start with price. The AeroBand Guitar is priced at about $429 without a case, and I think like $460 to $500 if you do want to get a case. The model they sent me for review, and I did a full in-depth review of this, I just did a review. It's linked below. If you want to go into the app connectivity, features, stuff like that, a more in-depth review of it, definitely check it out. But from a high level, this is around the same price as the other smart guitars featured on here, probably more towards the higher end. So let's talk about the features of the AeroBand Guitar and what makes it different. Now this model is built with guitarists in mind. This is the closest thing to a guitar out of any of the models on this video. You play it just like a guitar, you fret chords just like a guitar. Has a real fretboard layout, a physical feel that's more familiar to experienced players. Now the standout feature with this guitar is the MIDI capabilities of it. You can use this as a MIDI controller with your DAW. This also has a built-in speaker that was surprisingly loud, pretty good quality. Up at the top of this smart guitar, you do have a capo feature. So if I wanted to play a guitar at capo 2, I simply press the capo button twice. 1, 2. Now it should sound like I have capo 2 and I could fret it like I would a normal chord. Now the way that this guitar breaks down is like the other 3. There's a button on the back, you press it and the whole neck comes off. It is now in 2 pieces, but I don't have a case, so I'm pretty much gonna have to throw this into a backpack or a bag if I'm gonna travel. It is worth noting this is the biggest smart guitar of the bunch. Take a look at it compared to the Genie. The body kind of looks a little similar, but it is definitely much bigger. And then as you go down, there is a headstock on here. There's more frets, and this thing is way heavier than anything else on the list. So this does claim to have a 10 to 12 hour battery, which is the longest out of any of the other guitars that we have on the video. And it does have app connectivity where you can play along to songs, change your patches, your sounds, stuff like that. Now the app is called the AeroBand app. It is free, there is no subscription. It offers you custom mappings, alternate tunings, which is cool. You can do open D, open G, drop C. You could learn songs, play along to it. Let's talk about connectivity here. So at the bottom, you do have a 1/4 inch out, so you could plug into a guitar amp or a PA system. USB-C out. Then up here at the top, there's a few more ins and outs. You have a headphone jack if you want to do silent practice. Then there's a microphone in. So if you want to get one of those mics that you could wire up around your ear and sing, your voice will come out of the speaker if you're performing with this smart guitar. So let's talk about sound quality. Now on its own, the speaker does sound really good. It's pretty comparable to like the Cyber-G. The acoustic simulation is really accurate. It sounds great. I'd say it's comparable to the LiberLive. However, if you do turn on, hammer off, it starts sounding like a MIDI guitar or like a keyboard. Even if you're playing fast runs like this, it kind of sounds like a keyboard. So if you're playing open chords, it sounds really authentic, but I don't think they're trying to replace a guitar here. It's just supposed to be an additional tool and a new creative way to create sounds and write songs. So what makes this unique and worthy of your purchase over the other models that we had here on this video? Well, if you're an experienced guitar player who wants digital integration, not just a smart gadget, this one is going to be the pick for you. especially since it has full MIDI capabilities. If you've been looking to add interesting chords or pads or keyboard sounds to your music, but you don't know how to play keyboards, but you do know how to play guitar, you can plug this in, use it as a MIDI controller, and it solves that issue. So all right, after spending real time with all 4 instruments, here's what I tell someone picking a smart guitar. The Enya Cyber-G, choose this one if you're a producer, keyboardist, or a sound designer who wants flexibility and experimentation. It's a great fit for someone who plays guitar and keyboard and wants to combine the two and make some really creative songs. The Genie, choose this one if you're a beginner, you want something extremely easy to play, something you could bang around, it has a really soft touch to it. It's also great for kids. If you have kids who want to get into music, is a great pick for a first instrument. The LiberLive C1. Now choose this if you're a songwriter, learner, or a performer who wants an acoustic feel with portability and solid tone. This is great for singers. If you're a singer who does not play guitar, you want something to accompany you while you're performing, the LiberLive C1, in my opinion, is the highest quality, most authentic acoustic sound of the bunch up here. And finally, the AeroBand Guitar. Now choose this if you're an experienced guitarist or if you want a full MIDI capable controller for your sessions. It is definitely the hardest to master if you have no experience with guitar. Now each one of these brings something unique and different, and to me, that's the real excitement with smart guitars right now and the emerging tech. It's not about replacing your guitar, it's about reimagining what an instrument can do and finding new creative ways to write music and play. If you found this comparison helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. While I'm not labeling a clear winner here because they each have their own unique characteristics, I want to know what the winner was for you. Would you choose the Cyber-G, the Genie, LiberLive C1, or the AeroBand Guitar? And let me know why. Thanks for watching, and remember, whatever you're playing, keep the music going.